Hey, welcome. We have today Alex Lunkes. Is that how you pronounce your last name, Alex? Lunkes?
No, it's Lunkes, like lung kiss.
Lunkes. Good to know.
Yeah.
Alex Lunkes. He's the software developer, software engineer, actually, here at SpeakRight. So we have the pleasure today of interviewing him. So welcome, Alex. How are things?
Hey, interesting. Adapted to the work from home lifestyle, which I'm sure all of our typists can appreciate. And
Yep.
just trying to get by. I don't actually live that far from the office, so it's not a big difference for me as far as working from home. The real big difference is I went from, I pretty much exist exclusively in a 700 square foot space, which is kind of difficult getting used to.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, the definitely the typists have a lot of experience. Some of them have been working from home 12, 15 years, even more. So they they know a thing or two about working from home. Hi, Mary. We have Mary saying hi. Mary Kennedy. She's one of our typists. So, Alex, how long have you been working for SpeakRight?
I joined SpeakRite in December of 2018, and interestingly enough, that was like the last week that SpeakRite worked before Christmas. So like I had like a week, and then we all left for Christmas celebrations and whatnot. And yeah, that was interesting because I proceeded to crash my only vehicle on the fourth day, and so didn't have any way to get to work or anything like that. It's kind of a nightmare, but since then kind of shake everything out. But that SpeakRite is actually my first job out of college. So I graduated from Florida Gulf Coast University in Florida and moved to from Florida to Austin and got my job at SpeakRite and went on from there. So my job history is pretty simple. There is none.
That's nice. So that was my second question. What do you do before uh, coming to SpeakRight? But maybe you can talk to us a bit about your education. What does it entail to study in the field that you studied in college?
So it generally considered to be a 4-year program. I took five. It's not uncommon for it to take five. And the idea of it is not that they teach you how to code things because that's what I do on a daily basis. I type in code things that make our software platform run. For instance, type easy and the things that exist behind it in order to get the jobs to you. You being the typist. Um, and so it's not so much that they teach you how to code, which is one thing that they do, but it's more of like the methodical approach of writing software that they teach you. So doing things like thinking about how the software will be constructed and all the things that if you compared it to building a building would be basically the same thing. So you start with a foundation. You don't just start randomly writing code. And so you build up from the foundation. And software engineering is the practice of doing that, of building things, basically in a giant tower. And so that's what they try to teach you. And then obviously they give you that mathematics and science background and the other things that come with computer, not computer, science or engineering degrees.
Okay, it's very interesting. Is it intimidating? When you started your first job at SpeakRight, how did you feel?
Oh, it was very intimidating. You come out of college, and my college is different or was different in that your senior year they do a lot of engaging with community driven stuff. So like my senior year, I worked directly with a company that worked in my local area that wrote software, and we made software that they used. In my case, that company ended up actually being the university itself, but it was in a business style relationship. And most students did things for other companies. For instance, Hertz is a big employer down there, Hertz Rent a Car. And so a lot of groups did it over there. And you do it in a team of about 4 people who have similar skills to you. And so I had experience working in that sort of environment, but the jump from academia to the corporate world was definitely very steep and kind of difficult to get used to because things do work very differently once you get to the corporate world. There's a lot more focus on what the business and customers need as opposed to how to actually approach the problems.
Hmm. That's definitely true. What about your day to day at SpeakRite? What is it like? What are your, your the main things you do or that you look to do during the day?
So the main thing, the main or one of the main responsibilities I have, which I have very many, is I'm actually on call basically 24/7. So it's not even like a day-to-day thing. But if there are any problems with the system anywhere, I probably hear about it within about 15 minutes. It's very quick. It's as fast as somebody can pick up their phone and call me or text me and tell me that there's a problem, and I will basically instantly start looking into whatever it is. Um, as soon as possible. Then so that's just an ongoing thing that I always have to do. It's just part of being this role. Moving past that though, on a day to day, I come into the office and we have a giant list of tasks essentially. And those tasks will be assigned to me. Sometimes I assign them to myself. Sometimes my boss, which Ken, you already interviewed, is my boss. Sometimes he'll give me stuff and say, work on this. Um, but it comes and goes like that. And then from there, I will essentially break that single task into many smaller tasks. And over the course of the day, I write the code that accomplishes whatever it is that task is, or fix it, or whatever that is. So it's bug reports. Sometimes it's just reproducing things, looking into things. It can be all sorts of things. But once I've broken it down and accomplished those individual tasks, we put them all back together, and then my work is reviewed by one of the more senior developers, and they tell me, where I need to make changes or where I made mistakes and stuff like that. And then I go back and fix it. And sooner or later, it gets to the typists or customers.
Okay, it's a very collaborative department, right? The one.
Yes, it's extremely important to be collaborative. Even with us working from home right now, I would say on average, I probably video call my coworkers at least twice a day.
Okay,
So
and
it's
yeah. And what's one thing that you can point out that's like very exciting for you? Like you wake up every day and you look forward to tackle or do like one thing from work that you really really love.
I really like to understand problems. So we get a lot of interesting issues that come up, and so I'll get very obscure information about what's going on, or you know this doesn't work. Okay, well, why doesn't that work? And oftentimes the answer to your question can be extremely interesting. Uh, it's just all sorts of random stuff. Like on this one obscure version of Windows, just something is different, and that's why it does it that way. And so I just like figuring things out. And I've always been the kind of person who, like, if I got, you know, an engine or something, I would take it apart into a million pieces and then put it all back together again and see if it still worked. You can kind of see it in this video, but this computer right here, which is what I'm using right now, I built myself in my garage. So, I just love to build things and figure things out and learn how they work. And so in my job, that's basically what I do every day. So it's kind of the perfect job.
That's great, huh? When you get to do things that you like and like that process of figuring things out, taking it apart, when you can apply that to work, it's amazing, right? Like time flies by so quick. I imagine.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations where I will just put my head down into something and not come up for hours. And I'll be like, hey, it's been 8 hours. I should probably eat something, stand up, do anything. So that happens a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's good. It's a great skill to have. Definitely, we see that in the end products that we work with, we definitely see that you guys have passion for what you do, and obviously the skill set and the knowledge to work on it. Is there anything that you want to comment on for the typists? Anything you want to, any feedback or anything down the road that they're gonna see that you can give us a little heads up on it.
Well, I think I would get in trouble if I spoke too much about what exactly is coming forward. Nor do I think that I'm actually qualified to talk about it. But I'll say that there are things coming that I'm really excited about because I've worked somewhat on Type Easy, but my actual experience with Type Easy itself is rather limited. But there's definitely things that are coming down the pipeline that I am very excited about that will help the typists out a lot, I think. And I was part of the planning process for those things I'm not allowed to say exactly what, but I'm hoping that it'll make things a lot better from the typist perspective.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they appreciate that. Even if you can't give them all the details, just the fact that they can appreciate that uh, SpeakRight is working. To make a better product for them, give them better tools. Sorry, to work with. It's definitely something. SpeakRight has been a company for many years now, and you can see that they thrive to improve and keep every component, every aspect of the business up to date. And that's what you guys are working on now. So it's definitely great to see it. And you're
Yeah,
excited as well. If you're excited about it and you were on the planning phase and are going to be down the road working on it, it's very exciting, I think, for all of us.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of things in the system that were there before I got here, and this is like the first time where we're really going in and changing big things. So it, it it might be hard to notice at first, but I think in the long run, it'll really seem like it's a much better way to go.
Okay, that's great. Well, Alex, thank you. I appreciate your time today. I know you guys have a very busy schedule with everything you're working on, so we appreciate you giving us, the chance, the opportunity to know you a little bit better, and hopefully we'll see each other again here on the interview.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep an eye on the Facebook comments. So if anybody has any like specific questions or anything, I'll pop in there and I'll let you all know because I don't really know what people want to know, and so if I'm allowed to talk about it, I will talk about it. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get me to stop.
That's a good deal. Good deal. Thank you, Alex. Have a great day today.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.